All right, welcome back to our Thursday morning show. I got Brian Armstead calling all the way, I believe, from Maryland. Good morning. How are we doing this morning, Brian?
I'm fine. I can't hear you though. Let me see if I can get my headphone.
All right, but we're having a little trouble this morning. Maybe my wife can turn the volume up a little bit. Can you hear me now?
I can barely hear you, James.
All right. Well, you go ahead and talk about the 2019 Trailhawk Jeep. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, as you know, Jeep is part of the Fiat Chrysler Automobiles Alliance. It's their top-selling brand. You know, Jeep is really it's gone from being a cult vehicle with the Wrangler and with a popular vehicle with the Grand Cherokee to just a vehicle that everyone wants to own with their wide range of vehicles that they offer across the board. I mean, I'm going to be talking about the Jeep Compass Trailhawk, but they also offer the Wrangler, which is better than ever. They offer the Grand Cherokee, which is the most awarded SUV ever. The new Cherokee, which is smaller than the Grand Cherokee, but still trail-rated and very capable on-road and off-road. The Compass, which is a small SUV, trail-rated. The Renegade, which has trail-rated versions. And then, of course, the Wrangler JK. What does this mean by trail rated? It means that they take these vehicles out to Moab, Utah, and they climb over boulders and mud bogs and wet, slippery rocks. And, when they get it to the end, when they make it to the end, the brand, that particular vehicle can officially be named trail rated.
Wow, I did not know
the
that.
Compass has been, it starts at $21,000. My version, the Compass Trailhawk, starts at $28,795, and it's just a terrific vehicle. I mean, you can't really go wrong with this thing. You have the Latitude version. Well, first of all, you have the base version, the Sport, at $21,095. Then the Latitude comes in. Then the Altitude, and the Trailhawk, and then the Limited. And of course, the Limited is the one that the limited version comes in at a lower price than the Trailhawk. And I can't quite figure out why they have that in the order that they do. So it appears that I've driven the top of the line Compass. My car was finished in Redline Pearl exterior, beautiful. And I like the way they're doing these two-tone paint jobs, James. They have like a black roof trim, a black wide stripe down the middle of the hood. It kind of looks like an old hot rod, or not a hot rod, but a muscle car from the '60s. With the black two-tone striping. It's really, really, really cool.
Good.
The car sits tall, but it's a small vehicle. It's about the size of what can I compare with a Volkswagen Jetta sedan? It's about that length. It's just not, or Passat sedan rather.
Okay.
It's not a large vehicle by any stretch of the imagination, but I fit very comfortably inside. The only problem I have inside is the headrest do not raise up high enough to clear my shoulder blades. So when I'm sitting up straight, and I like to sit up very straight because I'm a tall guy. I need to have that back support, but it creates kind of a bridge that pushes me forward on the back, on my back, if you can imagine that. The headrest just does not. It's a sliding headrest, of course, and it just doesn't go high enough. I've only been in the car for one day. I just got back from Martha's Vineyard, where I did another Black History program with Toyota. So I haven't had a chance to really stretch it out. But driving from the airport, driving around town last night, I had to go to Burtonsville to pick up tickets for the Washington Redskins football game tonight. The thing that impressed me the most is it's comfortable. You typically think that an SUV is going to beat the crap out of you.
True.
Whatever they've done to the suspension here, they have done a really super job. I don't have the breakdown in front of me in terms of what they've done to what kind of suspension setup it is. But it's impressive. It's very smooth. Standard equipment on the Trailhawk includes an off-road suspension, which means that typically you would think that an off-road suspension would be a lot more rugged and rough than the on-road. If the car was configured, I'm sure like the base model is, for more on-road comfort than off-road comfort. but I was super impressed with the ride quality. Tow hooks, select terrain system where you can dial in, different parameters for the transmission, in the transfer case, mud,
Mm-hmm.
snow, rocks, these kind of things. I'm sure you've seen those selectors
Oh, yeah.
before coming to your shop.
Right. Right.
Hill start assist, hill descent control, an electric parking brake, and then you have electronic stability control, electronic roll mitigation, trailer sway damping. This is very important because if you tow a small boat with this rig,
Mm-hmm.
you don't. A lot of the boats that this Trailhawk is capable of towing. It's not a tow master. It's not a Dodge Ram or a Ford F-150 or even as capable as towing as the Grand Cherokee is. So a lot of the boats that fall into this category do not have trailer brakes.
Ah.
So you can get a nice little 19-foot boat behind you, and if the road conditions are not optimal, or if you have some kind of off-camber road surfaces, the trailer behind you can sway.
Mm-hmm.
And this has a built-in anti-sway damping, trailer sway damping, which is a really cool feature to find on a vehicle in this class.
Yes, it is.
Full fuel tank shielding,
Mm-hmm.
front suspension, skid plate. It's built for off-road. So, I got to say that if you like going off-road, or even if you don't like going off-road, this is a great Jeep for you to buy.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of luxury, it's got Uconnect with the 8.4-inch display. It's a touchscreen system, the best in the business, if you ask me. Sirius XM with a 1-year subscription for free.
Mm-hmm.
It's Apple CarPlay and Google Android Auto capable. Bluetooth streaming audio, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, another luxury feature that's pretty impressive at this price point. Steering wheel mounted audio controls. You don't find that in a Jeep. $28,000.
No, you don't.
So where Jeep has gone, instead of just giving you rugged, which you expect, now they give you rugged and refined. And that's why their sales numbers are just shooting through the roof, James.
It looks like a really nice. What they've done, it sounds like they've incorporated some of the niceties, like from the Range Rover or Land Rover from years back. And they're really, I was looking at the reviews on them, and it's up to 23 miles per gallon in the city and 31 on the highway, which was like, wow.
Well, my numbers show for the Trailhawk 22 and 30 for an average of 25.
Okay.
Yes, it's still impressive for a truck. It's a small off-road vehicle.
And you could tow up to 2,000 pounds. It was saying right here I had no idea they could tow them. If someone had asked me if you could tow with it, I went, I don't know, but it says you can tow up to 2,000 pounds. That's a nice small boat right there. It really is.
Yeah, it's a small boat, a 17-footer.
Yeah.
Maybe not a 19-footer, but a 17-footer for sure. And again, these vehicles do not have trailer brakes. A lot of them don't.
Right.
Jeep is offering incentives on the Compass Trailhawk. You can get up to $2,500 total cash, including a $500 cash bonus. Jeep.com for more details.
Mm-hmm.
They have attractive lease rates, $139 a month for 36 months with $29.99 down, or 0% APR for 60 months, or a total of $4,250 cash allowance. So I've got a 28,795 car, 34,910 is tested. You knock off that $4,000, and I've got a really nice $30,000 vehicle.
Yeah.
I think the price is competitive for this.
It is.
For this Trailhawk, and I think that they'll probably sell every one that they can build. I mean, the markets are down now. People are afraid, James. We've got tariffs coming up. That could really, it's going to dramatically, if these tariffs are enacted.
Tariffs.
People pay a 25% premium for, and it's not going to necessarily affect the big two, but Fiat Chrysler is no longer an American company.
Mm-hmm.
So how is the administration going to treat Chrysler and Jeep, traditional American nameplates, but now owned by the Fiat conglomerate out of Italy? So I'm curious to see how that will all play out. But, the fact remains is that the remainder of 2018 and 2019 will be a challenging year for the auto industry. But if this Compass is any indication of the quality of cars out there, then, when people go out to buy, they're going to be looking for all of the features. They're going to be looking for the fully contented vehicles like this Trailhawk or like the what Kia and Hyundai have done, where they're just like throwing everything but the kitchen sink into their cars. So
you're right. It's impressive what they've done. I'm very, very impressed with what Jeep has been doing with cars. And I've owned Jeeps and had Jeeps since I was a child. I remember my first Jeep that I had, it had like 12 inches of play in the steering wheel because it was from 1944. It was completely wore out when I drove it in the woods. And
right.
I've grown up with Jeep J10s. I've had Cherokees. I've had Jeep, the little Jeep, the Jeep, government issue Jeeps. I mean, so they've come a long way as far as the styling and the handling and performance. And they've
come a long way, James, in terms of safety.
Yes, yeah.
And and particularly with the Wrangler, because the Wrangler, you have to understand. The viewers and listeners have to understand that the Wrangler can be configured. Come standard with doors that you can take off.
That's right. They can come off. I forgot. Yes.
Yeah. So you can have your legs hanging out, and you can fold the windshield down. Mm-hmm. So that creates a whole new set of safety issues for engineers. You don't have side door airbags in a Jeep because you can take the doors off.
Yep.
So they do a side curtain. And they do a roll cage with the models that where the windshield can fold down, so that you can have some rollover protection. But these things were not standard on Jeeps of Jeep Wranglers of the past.
No.
So, and for that reason, I always said, hey, if you buy a Wrangler, you're really kind of rolling the dice here. I now, Mr. Safety Man, want to buy a Wrangler, a 4-door Rubicon model, all the safety bells and whistles. I don't mind spending $895, like here on the Trailhawk, for the advanced safety and lighting group. I don't mind spending $795 for the safety security group, which includes park assist, blind spot detection, rain-sensitive wipers.
Ooh, okay.
I'm spending my money wherever I can, no matter the car that I buy, and I try to repeat this theme as often as I can. Buy your cars based on safety. I'm going to switch gears just a little bit here. Because,
we got a minute. We got one more minute.
Yeah. Toyota and many companies are still trying to get people to respond to Takata airbag recalls.
Yeah.
Folks, if you have a Toyota or a Honda or BMW, go to NHTSA.gov, plug in your VIN number, and see if your car needs to be recalled because of the defective Takata airbags that are in many Toyotas and many Hondas. And some, these things have shrapnel bits in them that literally turn into shrapnel when the airbag's deployed. So stay alive, be smart, be back next Thursday, Jim.
What is that?
James, to talk about something else.
What is that website again?
NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA.gov.
All right, good. I want to make sure my people hear
do a search for airbag, Takata airbags, TAKATA.
Okay.
A little public service announcement for today, but this is a very critical issue. A lot of folks have died, have been injured or maimed by these exploding airbags with metal fragments inside.
And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, but just
it's free.
It.
Thank you, James.
Good.
It doesn't cost you a penny.
All right.
It does not cost you a penny.
All right. You be good. I'll talk to you again next Thursday, Brian. Thank you so much
yes,
for your time, sir. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.